Hi everyone, I am Miss Sophia the Diva. I am here to discuss Real Housewives of Potomac Season 3, Episode 1. Hey, you got to make millions in order to owe millions, says the Grand Dame, Karen Huger. What's up everybody? If this is your first time here on this channel, be sure to subscribe, thumbs up this video, watch it in its entirety. This review will be brief. There wasn't a lot here. The highlights are we see Karen Huger going through tax struggles, Ashley going through marital growing pains or growing apart pains, I don't know. Giselle is in love with this man named Sherman and loving it. Her girls are growing up fast. Robin and Juan still together, still divorced, but shacked up and having sex occasionally, she said. I was like, okay, girl, get it how you live, but don't be mad when people start saying things about you. And I was really surprised at how Robin's behavior was so... It's almost like she decided that she was going to become this lioness and just lash out at poor Karen. I mean, she called and talked to you about her issues, and now you're turning it into, ooh, somebody's more fucked up than my dysfunctional life. I don't get it. And see, Robin and Giselle are two of my favorites. And Giselle, I kind of never will. I am biased. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and she is from Texas. So, yeah, I probably won't ever talk bad about her, but I will call a thing, in the words of Iyanla Vanzant. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Ashley real quick. So Ashley and Giselle are now friends because they have a bonding moment because Giselle knows what it's like to go through a bad breakup in a marriage. So she is trying to be there for Ashley as a mentor, like a big sister. Ashley has been living in an apartment because Michael had some sort of waiting to exhale Bernadine moment. Get your shit. Get your shit and get out. I said he probably had been watching Waiting to Exhale. Maybe she had him watching it at one point, and that's where he learned that from. And he also put his foot down saying how this was his house. Girl, let me tell you, if you ain't got your name on the lease, the mortgage, or some assets, just get the fuck out and count your losses. I can tell you that firsthand. Just count your losses. This whole struggle move she was doing, I hope this was for the cameras because I had questions. Number one, why was Ashley moving by herself and putting everything in a damn Porsche? Why the hell didn't you can't even afford to rent a car or a truck or an SUV van, moving truck, cargo van to move this stuff out? That would seem more logical. Number two, where was Michael if he wants you to come back home? That was my question. Like, what kind of man would allow his wife or some woman he professed to love to move by herself? Then I had to think, Ashley probably told him, fuck you, I don't need your help. I'll do this myself. But if those words were not said, what I'm saying is, as a man, as a gentleman, that's the difference. That's the difference right there. You have men and then you have gentlemen. And a real gentleman would, or a gentleman period, would not allow a lady or a woman to have to struggle and move stuff by herself. So, Michael, you should have stepped up. But, you know, you have these men out here that want to be assholes and petty and watch you struggle. But karma has no expiration date. That's all I'm going to say. Also, what I realized about Michael is that I think that Michael in his season, in his being much older than Ashley, he really married her as a status symbol, as a trophy wife, and did not know that he was getting an alpha female. There also seems to be some conflict regarding there's stress on the marriage regarding Ashley's mother. And from the clips that Bravo keeps showing, and from what I remember, it seems like Ashley is always wanting to do for her mother and not her mother necessarily asking of her anything. So I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. You know, when I think about the marital vows and things that it says in the Bible, when you became a man, and I will even say when you become a woman, you leave your family and cleave to your spouse. So I get that part, but at the same time, in other cultures, America has a very interesting setup with how they deal with parents and all this stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand sometimes some parents do some stuff and you just like, you know what? I'm done. Okay, so get it how you live. But at the same time, it seems like Ashley really has a good relationship with her mother and wants to do the best for her mother because her mother sacrificed so much for her. That's what it seems like to me. But even one of my Twitter followers was like, what is going on? Why is she moving by herself? What's up with this mama situation? So I don't know. Comment down below, let me know what y'all think about that. Let's get into Robin. Robin behavior so far this first episode is very interesting. I was shocked by how she was acting. But first of all, her and Juan are still together and they are still working, acting, and holding themselves out as a cohesive family unit. That was reflected in the photo they showed of him getting the head coaching position at this new school, which has put them on a better financial track. She continues to speak as we. She says they did move in together. They do still share the bedroom. They do occasionally have sex. So I don't know. It's either shit or get off the pot, if you ask me. But that's why when Robin was saying some of the things she was saying throughout this episode, I was just a little perplexed. Like, girl, your shit stinks too. Okay. Don't think that it don't. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, Robin and Giselle, those are my two. I ride for them. Okay. What I didn't like about Robin is that she appears to want to be the bone carrier of this particular series this season. And it's very disappointing and very unbecoming because Karen Huger is going through some things with her family. Her husband owes $5 million in business taxes. Note business taxes. It did not say personal taxes. Furthermore, she advised us that her and Ray file taxes separately and that they don't even have a joint checking account. He taught her how to invest her money and make money. But she did call and confide in Robin. Robin did a run tell that and told all of the girls. They showed a clip of her talking to like Charisse and what's that chick's name that talks all the time? Monique Samuels and Giselle. And I don't know if Ashley was there. But either way, the old original cast minus Katie. Yeah, minus her because she left after season 1. It just seems kind of odd that she might be like, I was just speaking about something that was already in the blog, but you didn't have to tell anyone you talked to Karen. That's the big difference. That's how it came off. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But I will say this, Juan did give Robin excellent advice because Robin keeps saying that she doesn't think that Karen is giving the full truth because Karen was saying that she heard from a third party that this story is about to come out on the Washington Post and she wanted to get ahead of it. And of all the women that she got in contact with, she talked to Robin and confided in her. Robin was very supportive and helpful in advising her on how to handle it. And in some ways I can see that because number one, Robin is a PR person. So she definitely knows how to handle that type of stuff. What is disappointing is the fact that she broke the trust and bond that her and Karen were that I think Karen was trying to develop with her. If anything, you would have thought she would have talked to Giselle since they've known each other longer. But I'll come back to that. Speaking of Giselle, as you know, was dating some dude that was a friend. But to me, hell, it seemed at one point like he was more interested in her mama. Needless to say, she has moved on and is now dating this African dude. I believe he's African. He looks Nigerian to me. Sherman. And her girls, they love Mr. Sherman. I'm amazed at how big her girls have gotten. One of them wants to wear makeup. But she's like, no. And I think that's appropriate. You know, you don't need to wear makeup unless it's for a special occasion like your dance recitals or whatever they do to put, doll girls up. But I like that. And so she's launched her brand and she seems to be very happy and in love. And like I said earlier, she is mentoring Ashley. Real quick, bleep on the screen. Monique Samuels is back. As you know, last season, she came on and her husband looked at a house in Potomac and they bought the house and it is a lovely house. My only question was, and like I was saying, I wonder, because I've always wanted a koi pond in whatever home I establish. Now, in California, that's not an issue. In California, the weather is pretty consistent. We don't ever have like a deep freeze or anything like that. So I definitely could have my koi and goldfish pond. I love it. I love that with my little turtles and stuff. That's a fantasy of mine in my house. I need to put that on the vision board. But I noticed they had a really nice koi pond. Of course, Monique's nanny quit on them. She was like, she was supposed to be with us for 2 years, and she just quit like a month ago. I'm like, she probably got tired of the incessant chatter, the bragging on how you're so tired and you're doing this and that, and you're a super mom and a super wife and a super this. Um, yeah, it gets old. It really does. Can you not define, you need to find other things to talk about, because don't nobody want to hear that shit all the time. They probably got tired of hearing it and said, fuck this shit, I'm gone. I'm just saying. But the house is lovely. The house is lovely. Also, another thing to note is this whole mother-in-law situation. I think it's really sad. Truth of the matter is, mothers will always be protective of their sons. But I don't think it was totally necessary for Miss Samuels to talk about Monique in that way. You know, this is your son's wife. He loves her. This is the mother of your grandchildren. Be respectful. If you had something to say, you could have just told Chris in confidence, I really don't like your wife. How can we work through this? Or maybe even talk to her and ask her, you know, what's really going on. I mean, Chris is taking care of you too, probably, and providing for you. And it's sad because he doesn't talk to his mother either. But, you know, sometimes some parents put themselves in that predicament. You know, remember we were looking at Beyonce and her daddy. You know, it seemed as though, we don't know, but it seemed as though that they were estranged. And another thing I just wanted to know is Ashley was moving out of this apartment but didn't really want to move out. So I'm trying to figure out, was Michael paying for the apartment and the lease is up and she got to go home? She can't afford to pay her own lease either. That's a question I had. But what I found interesting with this whole Karen interaction, she did talk to her husband about it. He said, I didn't think it was necessary to tell you. I mean, let's be real. When you are maneuvering in the legal minefield, there's a lot of things you should not speak on to protect yourself as well as others. And that's what Ray is doing. That's how business is done. Any damn good attorney would tell you, shut the hell up and talk to me and me alone. And when we go into this deposition or into this settlement conference, you take my lead. Okay, I'm going to coach you on what they're going to ask you. Okay, and you just, if I tell you shut the hell up, you shut the hell up. It's for your best interest. Okay, or it's in your best interest. But Robin, I'm glad Juan gave her some advice, but he said be supportive. You don't know what she's really going through emotionally and mentally, because she was saying how Karen, you know, is known to stretch the truth, and we know she is, because on the reunion it was revealed that Ray was like, hell, I didn't even know, I thought we were trying to downsize to a smaller house. And that's probably why he wanted to downsize to a smaller house, because he knew that the IRS was getting ready to clap down on it, on his business. And so he really wouldn't be able to afford and maintain the lifestyle. And let me tell you something, Karen is lying about what she knew or didn't know. I don't think she is. I don't get that vibe, but if she is, okay. But here's the deal. There are a lot of people who have money and power, and when they are falling, they don't want people to know. They want to save face, because number one, it's embarrassing, and you know how people kiki, ooh, look how the mighty have fallen. But let me also note something else. Pride always comes before the fall, and you got to stop being ashamed. If you need some help, let people know. If some shit about to get real, let folk know, because otherwise this is the result. You end up with a Robin Dixon running around telling all your business. But I was laughing when one was like, yeah, you know, just be supportive. Don't be like Ashley, though. That shit'll come back and bite you in the ass. Because you remember last season, Ashley was running around telling Robin's business about the fact that one was seeing somebody that she knew. So Karen and Robin meet for lunch. In this lunch meeting, Robin tells her that she talked to the girls about Karen. And Karen is like, why would you do that? I told you that in confidence. She was like, well, we were talking about what was on the blog. And of course, she was talking about the Washington Post blog. Karen was like, blog? Is that where y'all get y'all's news from? I was like, Karen is right, though, but it's a blog. But it was a legitimate news blog. And she was like, well, the Washington Post is an institution. It is an honor to even be mentioned in there. I said, okay, spin doctor, go ahead. Karen, go ahead. And so then Robin kept saying, well, I felt like, you know, you really weren't being truthful and honest and completely open with me about what was going on. And I was like, Robin, let's just stand in your truth, okay? You were in denial about you and Juan's relationship, and you have been forcing this relationship on us and yourself and your kids. Your kids know your daddy, their daddy miserable, and he's done. but y'all just keep staying together. But now it seems like he's come around, so we'll see how this plays out. But people in glass houses should not throw stones. Remember that. Karen Huger did let Robin know, look, I'm debt free and I got plenty money, okay? Because she was like, don't be putting that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. That's what I felt like. We were having a Ricky Bobby moment. Other than that, I think that's all. There wasn't a lot to this episode. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I know that Charisse is not on the show anymore. She's going to be a friend of the show. There's a new girl they're going to probably onboard next week. The upcoming episodes seem to be real interesting. This is the season of Karen, a grand dame. Everybody is so interested in knowing what's going on with her. But I know why, because Karen kind of set herself up like that. Because remember, first season, she was Miss Etiquette, Miss Perfect. I know everything. I want to be in everybody's business, season 2. And now the facade is starting to crumble. But you can fake it, but eventually the truth will come out. Okay, well, that's all I've got. Again, subscribe to this channel, thumbs up this video, share it, watch it. You know, YouTube has taken away our ability, a smaller channel's ability to monetize. They expect us to have 1,000 or more followers, as well as at least 4,000 impressions in a 12-month period. And I was looking at mine and my numbers are low. So help a diva out so I can get back to monetizing stuff. Hell, I may just start a Patreon account and see who helps. And anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I have been Miss Sophia the Diva, and you have been all that.